Now, growing up, moving house is a pretty traumatic experience, right? You're born, you get settled down, you've got your group of friends, you're comfortable at school, and then all of a sudden, poof, new school, new neighborhood, everyone's weird and you don't like them. But what if millions of years in the future we weren't just moving house, but moving planets, entire solar systems? And not only that, but your brand new house on a brand new planet is in a pretty rough neighborhood, to say the least. And as it turns out, your new neighbor is a gigantic black hole. What the hell? Oh, and also, you are humanity, and this is a metaphor. Ooh. Hello internet, what's going on? And once again, welcome back to the most inquisitive channel on YouTube, Life's Biggest Questions. As per usual, I'll be your disembodied floating voice, Jack Finch, as today we curiously ask the question, what if you grew up on the edge of a black hole? Roll the clip. For the curious amongst you, that clip was from, of course, Christopher Nolan's 2014 science fiction contemporary classic, Interstellar. And believe it or not, despite the hypothetical implications of its fictional physics, it's a very, very important visual depiction on just exactly how we're going to posit this life's biggest question. And it's down to two narrative devices that the film employs: the mega black hole gargantua and time dilation. Keep those two things in mind, just like how Cooper kept the memory of his daughter Murphy in mind when he was sitting beside her deathbed 74 years after his mission first set off. Oh man, right in the feels. Well, the first thing that we have to explore when facing this question is why the hell would anyone ever want to live on a planet right on the edge of a black hole? Surely, regardless of the infinity of both the universe and the stupidity of mankind, we'd never be so foolish as to inhabit a planet teetering on the edge of an event horizon, right? Those things are dangerous, they love spaghetti, and they have a habit of swallowing things whole. Now obviously we have to do a little bit of hypothetical gymnastics to even get to this point, and the major proposition is a bit of a leap, to say the least. You could even say a giant leap for mankind. Eventually, as in approximately 100 trillion years, we know through our understanding of the life cycle of our own sun that all the stars in the known universe will die out, and the only cosmological bodies that would remain would be these guys, black holes. Albeit really, really big black holes. Eventually, it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility that all surviving life in the universe will have to emigrate to planets that surround black holes down to their civilization's need to harness energy. And with all the stars burned out, black holes would be the only source of usable energy, thanks to a little function known as the second law of thermodynamics. Also, it's important to note that it's much more likely that any future civilizations will probably absorb energy by coalescing their own matter rather than moving their entire population next to a black hole. That's also if anyone's obviously still alive by then, but that doesn't fit into our hypothetical question, so let's throw that notion out of the window and out into our fictional black hole. Goodbye. Obviously, our theoretical planet needs to be able to sustain life, and thankfully, thanks to theoretical physics, it can. According to the second law of thermodynamics, the ingredients for life require a difference in temperature to provide a source of usable energy. Life on our planet exploits that difference which occurs between our sun and the cold vacuum of space. But conveniently, it still works exactly the same if you reverse it. Well, kind of, as in it also works with a cold sun and a hot sky. Thanks to Hawking radiation, which is a process that occurs toward the end of a black hole's life cycle, a big enough and old enough black hole could theoretically function as a sort of cold sun, or a black hole sun, to quote the immortal words of the late great Chris Cornell. So what would an advanced civilization even do in their strange new home? What are the health hazards? What are the schools like? Is there a dog park? Does this bizarre black hole friendly planet rain molten aluminium? Well, yeah, probably. In fact, due to time dilation, the likelihood of our new planet being incredibly superheated is highly likely, and the parameters of your new interstellar neighborhood not being covered in a tidal wave of liquid metal magma teeters on the edge of theoretical physics. But again, for the sake of this hypothetical resolution, let's throw that out the window yet again. goodbye. Because the fact of the matter is, theoretical black hole neighborhood physics lets us envisage some incredible new features for our black hole civilization that is just too fun of a notion to pass by. If you were a citizen growing up in this brave new hypothetical world, you could imagine an entire method of technology and infrastructure based around the bizarre scientific properties of black holes. The nearby black hole itself could be theoretically used as a source of clean energy by harnessing the maximum rotation of its innermost stable circular orbit and harvesting the subsequent radiation. Hell, our civilization could even go one further by engineering a device that would work in harmony with the spin of the black hole, acting as a giant flywheel to harness momentum as energy. That's pretty ballsy, right? But we can safely assume that any civilization willing to live next to a black hole knows a thing or two about physics at this point. In fact, this black hole could even form the basis of an entire social structure, even going so far as forming our civilization's judiciary system. You grew up committing a life of crime? Sorry, bud. Guilty. You've just earned yourself a one-way ticket to the ultimate prison, the black hole, a death sentence of a singularity. Now that's a pretty terrifying notion, isn't it? Also, if we haven't yet hammered home our point enough already, growing up around a black hole would even have consequences for how our theoretical civilization perceived time relative to our own. Thanks to the craziness that is time dilation, it's entirely possible that you could have moved to your new black hole planet and several million years have passed by in your old neighborhood. Now that is an existential crisis if I've ever had one. I need to lie down. Obviously, everything posited here is a giant leap for our hypothetical civilization, but isn't that the pure unbridled joy of imagining strange new worlds, even ones that require theoretically carving out an entire existence on a planet teetering on the edge of a black hole? In that case then, I'm glad that we've all grown up, so far at least, on our Earth. After all, when you think about it, we're pretty damn lucky that we don't have to move to a black hole anytime soon, right? Well, there we have it, our hypothetical notion to the question, what if you grew up on the edge of a black hole? What do you guys think? Would you ship off in the first spaceship bound for the nearest black hole? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Before we depart from today's video though, let's take a quick look at some of your more creative comments from over the past few days. This time, Jellyfish says, next video, is a hot dog a sandwich? Damn, now that's a question if I've ever heard one. A hot dog has all the requirements for a sandwich: a bun, bread, the bit in the middle, meat or a veggie dog if you're so inclined, and it even has condiments and toppings. But it will be a cold day in hell before I ever consider a hot dog a sandwich. No chance. Well, on that note, that's all we've got time for in today's video. Cheers for sticking around all the way until the end. If you're a fan of this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button as well as that subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. As per usual, I've been your disembodied floating voice, Jack Finch. You've been watching Life's Biggest Questions, and until next time, you take it easy.